Did you know that African Americans make up just 13% of the U.S. population, yet represent nearly 40% of those incarcerated? And despite centuries of struggle, some are questioning if it's time to leave the country entirely. Could repatriation to Africa be the answer? Let's take a closer look. Good evening, I'm Juliet Kennedy, and welcome to the Insight 360. Tonight, we focus on a movement gaining traction in certain corners of the Black community, the repatriation movement led by Dr. Umar Johnson. Known for his outspoken views on Black empowerment, Dr. Johnson is calling for African Americans to return to Africa, leaving behind systemic challenges in the U.S. Could this bold proposal be the future? Here's what you need to know. For many Black Americans, systemic racism is a daily reality. Despite ongoing efforts for civil rights, the Black community continues to face significant challenges in the U.S., including economic disparities, mass incarceration, and underrepresented in key industries. Dr. Umar Johnson argues that these long-standing struggles are rooted in the systemic oppression that has shaped the African American experience for centuries. So, what if the answer is not just reforming a system that many see as broken, but leaving it behind altogether? Enter Dr. Umar Johnson's repatriation plan. He proposes that African descendants, especially African Americans, return to Africa, reconnecting with their ancestral homeland. Johnson's vision includes the creation of self-sustaining communities that focus on economic independence, political sovereignty, and cultural reclamation. But how feasible is it? Johnson suggests several African nations could become ideal places for repatriation, citing countries with historical ties to the African diaspora, such as Ghana and Liberia. His plans aren't just about moving to Africa, they're about building strong, independent communities that could thrive without Western influence. He's also advocating for the establishment of educational institutions that focus on African-centered curricula, ensuring that future generations are empowered with knowledge of their roots. One of the key moments that raised eyebrows in the Black community came during a recent speech Dr. Johnson delivered in Washington, D.C. He boldly claimed that repatriation could be the only way to truly break free from the cycle of poverty and systemic racism in the United States. His message struck a chord with many, but also sparked heated debates. Some feel it's a vision of empowerment, while others argue that leaving the U.S. isn't the answer to centuries of oppression. The only way to truly be free is to return to our roots, where we can finally thrive as the independent people we were always meant to be. So, where does this leave us? Dr. Umar Johnson's repatriation movement is stirring a mix of excitement and skepticism. While his vision for a new, self-sustaining Africa resonates with some, others question whether it's a practical solution or an unrealistic dream. The challenges of leaving behind established lives and integrating with diverse African cultures cannot be underestimated. What do you think? Could repatriation be the key to freedom and empowerment, or is it simply an idealistic plan? We want to hear your thoughts. Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about historical repatriation efforts, be sure to subscribe and check out our next video on the Back to Africa movement from the early 20th century. Thanks for watching the Insight 360. I'm Juliet Kennedy. Stay informed, stay engaged.